Well, I can't say good morning because it's 12:15. So, Pixie's first one here. Yes, I decided at the last minute just to do a short live stream. I don't know how long I'll be stopping, but hey ho. Got the one viewer, obviously that's Pixie. So people aren't used to me going live at the weekend. I to the two viewers. Yeah, so I just decided it's Saturday morning. Pixie wanted to go out with the drone, but the weather dictated otherwise. So I just says, right, what the heck? I'll go live for a little while, and the other viewers left. So I'm talking away here to Pixie at the moment. I hope people have got notification that I will go in live. So yes, got lemonade at the moment. I got full screen chat on. What, so you can read the chat?
Yeah.
I have been a little poorly over the past few days. That's the reason I didn't go live yesterday, but I'd gone live the day before. So I felt, I don't know, it's like a sickness bug. I'm feeling sick and felt absolutely pants yesterday. Hi, Angel, how are you? Oh, you got the notification, did you? Yeah, I've not been feeling very well over the past few days. I don't know, it's a sickness type of bug. I felt sick, and yesterday I felt, like sore throat, and Pixie sent to think it might have been. I just wanted to go to sleep. I were all headachy and whatever yesterday, so I just didn't feel it yesterday. Let's just put it that way. But I'm still a little bunged up, but I feel better than what I did. I think, like yesterday morning, we're at 10 o'clock when I got up yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Slept more or less straight through till about 20 to 6. Got up to use the bathroom, got straight back in bed and went straight back to sleep. And that's very unlike me. So hello to the 5 viewers. Come in and say hello. We've just got Pixie and Angel in the chat at the moment. So yeah. Hope you've all had a good Christmas and looking forward to the new year. We'll be doing a live stream on New Year's Eve. Like what we did last year, we sort of started off on one channel and then went for an hour or an hour and a half or something like that, and went on to somebody else's. Hiya, Darren, how are you? And basically throughout the night we sort of flipped from one channel to the other, basically, bringing in the new year. And we saw the new year in on Eagle VP's channel, but he's expressed that he doesn't want to be, sort of the late one this year. So we've sort of got to get together and sort of thrash it out as, who's doing what and whatever. And same as I said, I don't mind doing like the first one, the early one. So I'm a lot better than what I was, Darren. I've not been too well over the past few days. I don't know whether it's a virus or we've all had colds, and like yesterday, and it was just like we're like actually physically sick, but like it was like I mean, I can't really explain it, like feeling sick in the pit of my stomach, but not actually being sick, if you know what I mean. And it was just like one of them days where I just felt like even though I didn't get up till 10 o'clock, well, a.m., I just wanted to sleep all day. Yeah. I do feel a lot better than what I did at this sort of precise moment in time. I'm just like nasally and like a bunged up feeling, you know. But it's bearable. It's doable, as I say. You know, it's no detriment to me. You know, to myself. Oh dear, yeah. Pixie was hoping to go out with a drone, but it's very, very windy. It looks like it's going to rain. Same as he says, it's not ideal flying weather. So, hiya, James. How are you? Oh, James has got a bad cold as well. I think it's everywhere, James. You know, we've all had colds. Well, Callum's still sort of got his, but he's getting over it. And we've all had the sort of the chills, and you know, 1 minute feeling hot and then feeling cold, and yeah, the cold is taking over the world. But I think a lot of it's to do with the weather. It's like such changes in the weather. I mean, like we've said, it's the end of December and it's like 12 degrees here. I mean, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it is exceptionally warm for this time of year. You know, it is rather warm for this time of the year. And I'm sure, you know, people in America, and I'm sure it's all over the world, it is quite mild for this time of year. Yeah, same as Pixie's just said. We had that really, really bad snow this time last year, and it's sort of you know, I mean, I'll get my phone and have a look and tell you the exact temperature. It is actually 12 degrees. So it's a case of, you know, I've got a jumper on, but I must admit that, you know, well, it's not a thick jumper. You know, I have got some rather thick jumpers for the cold weather, but I mean, this is quite a thin jumper compared to some that I've got. It's sort of a mix of, it's not warm enough for t-shirts, but it's not cold enough for the really thick jumpers. Yeah, Mr. P was up at 6 a.m. this morning going, yeah, I mean, we've got a friend that lives in Australia also, and you know, it's been, you've had cyclones, you've had the rain, and then sort of on the flip side of the coin, it's gone really, really warm. So this is what I'm saying. It's sort of not just affecting the UK, it's affecting Australia, America. It's, you know, funny kind of weather. Hi, Marie. How are you? Yeah, I'll send you a link in a minute, Angel. Same as I say, it were a last minute thing. I don't normally go live over the weekend, but Pixie were expecting to go out on the drone and the weather dictated otherwise. Hi, Nick. How are you? So yeah, so I sort of, you know, sort of got no pressing engagements or anything. So I thought, what the heck, I'll go live. Tell people about, please give me my rent. Hang on a minute. Sort it in a minute, Marie. I'm just going to see if I can, there we go. Don't have to get your email or anything now. You need a cat nap. So yeah. Are you not going to football? No, he's watching it. He was expecting to go, but unfortunately, there's some money that he were expecting it to arrive. So, is what's that thing that you watch it on? It's going to watch it on
Securely live.
Yeah, securely live. So it was expecting some. Hi, Angel. How are you?
Doing well. I know that you said you're just you've been trying to fight over some sickness. Well, for me, lately I've been trying to stay warm because we got over a major blizzard here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah, and so I've been just trying to stay warm as the best I can without getting too cold or too chilled. Because if I do that, I could be on the verge of getting a cold or a flu. But as you can see, I don't normally I don't normally wear a sweatshirt on your streams whenever I'm on here because of how the weather has been. But yesterday I had to leave the bank and come right back home because I went and cast a check, and then afterwards of the wind conditions that were on here in my area, I decided to just take the next bus back home to stay and keep warm without getting
Well,
too chilled.
yeah. I'm gonna say. I mean, you're better off staying in where it's warm and everything. I just want to say, Angel, I tuned into your live stream this morning because I came down here but I didn't say anything because there were a bit of a something going off, if you know what I mean. I'm not.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not.
because basically what it was is that
I'm not saying too much.
the dude was mentioning about him being doxxed and such, and so there was just some information and advice being mentioned to people. So it wasn't nothing bad. It wasn't nothing that was negative. It was just us talking amongst each other, trying to give each other advice to keep this kind of stuff from ever happening to one another. So it wasn't anything that
Yeah,
bad. I understand where you're coming from, because I was the one that did the stream, and I know what you're talking about.
yeah. I sort of didn't want to sort of come in and put me two penneth worth in, let's say, so to speak, and same as one of the guys was saying, at the end of the day, it's your live stream and, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah. And not,
but basically, early on when I did my stream, I had a 17-year-old by the name of McKenna, goes by Raven, the commentator. She was on my stream during the first hour of it, and then when I was in the midst of muting myself, going to another stream, some dude on a different stream that I was a part of prior to, some dude came to my stream thinking that it was someone else's, and me and the two panel guests laughed like heck. And then I went ahead and went to where he was, and he basically called me a pedophile all because I had a 17-year-old on an age restricted stream. But I'm like, what?
yeah, but I mean, same as I said, I was sort of sat there thinking, well, it's not your fault that a person under 18 comes into your live stream. It's just that you've got to be careful of what you say or what you do, as regards, language, etc., etc. It's sort of like what I call a thin blue line.
Yeah.
Hi, Crimson, how are you? I mean, I understand it from others' point of view, but then I understand it from your point of view. It was your live stream. That 17-year-old chose to come into your live stream. You can't control who comes in.
Well, yeah, well. In terms of the chat, I cannot control who comes in, but I can control who I let on my panel.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's same with me. I mean, as you know, I don't have any drama, etc. If somebody does come in that's underage, I ask people to be respectful and no swearing because I don't age restrict mine anyway.
Yeah, I noticed that you don't really do that, but for me, with the adult person that I am, I have been trying to lean more towards the adult stuff, but keeping to a minimum. Because as you probably noticed, that there were a few words here and there, but not all throughout the stream entirely. And so I try to watch what is said and done to a minimum, so that way it doesn't exceed to a excessive amount of the stuff, like an excessive amount of these words, an excessive amount of those words.
But having said that, I mean, you can't control what people say or do, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it,
yeah, it's what they say.
it's basically you trust that person when you invite them up onto your panel to be respectful of others. Now, I mean, going back to the other one, you know, I told you my reasons why I'd left, but um, I don't normally sort of leave people's live stream, but in that instance, I thought, well, it's best to leave, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean that one day when you left because someone said that you were fake and such. I understand that. But last night when you were in there for a millisecond without saying anything and then had to leave, I understand that the topic at hand was a bit much for you, and I just
I did watch for a while, but I didn't say anything, if you know what I mean.
yeah, basically in a form of a lurker.
Well, yeah, but I thought it best not to say anything. I'll just watch it for a little while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The same as Pixie said. I mean, certain things that you say can be took out of context and misunderstood, and whatever. So you have to be very careful what you say and what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like me. I mean, I'm always respectful to people. I don't say things that offends them. It's people are people, if you know what I mean. Sometimes you can say things that are taken out of context and misinterpreted. I'm sort of person. I'm here to advise anybody. If you were to message me and say, "Oh, I've got this problem. What do you advise me to do?" I'll advise you. And that's just me. And I never say things that are respectful to others, or disrespectful to others, or say things to offend people. Yeah, and Crimson says you've got to have a read on someone before you talk to them. It's it, it's it's a funny thing, isn't it? I mean, some people can take things out of context or on remarks or things that you say, and you say it in all innocence, and basically, it can be took out of all context. It's all right. Pixie and Nick are talking about football.
They were talking about football, but
Yeah,
yeah, I understand what you're saying. People can take what I say out of context and such. So basically, I have to watch what I say and do, so it doesn't represent that. In addition to that, I also probably have to watch who I invite on, without so that way the stuff that the person called me doesn't ever happen again. But also what the person finds inside me, because people have different opinions about different types of people. Some people can call you this and that, but it's basically in the end of the day what they feel about you.
yeah. I mean, like over the past few months, we've got to know you, Angel. We know you don't mean anything bad. You're a good person. Oh, Marie says it's prayer time. She'll be right back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean anything bad, but there are times where like there are stuff that will happen that I'm in the midst of, like this past Saturday when I did a stream of mine. then they started talking about the topic of race, and I cursed out the person at the near very end, where I said to him, "If you ever bring this stuff up, leave it to your blank self." And I didn't mean to say it. It's just it came out because I was in the midst of the moment, and I just wanted to move on from that. And the
Yeah.
couple of people on my panel didn't seem to hear me or listen to me when I asked, "Hey, can I please say something?" And they started continue on talking about it. And so I had to end the stream, but I didn't mean to say what I did. It's just it was in that bit of a moment that where I just didn't want to discuss about race at all because I'm not
Yeah,
a political channel.
I mean that subject in itself is like a thin blue line. I mean, I don't discriminate any race, colour, or the same as I always say. At the end of the day, we all bleed red blood.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? No
and
matter what colour or creed or religion or whatever you are, you still bleed the same blood. And I don't discriminate against a person's race or sexuality or whatever. I take people at face value. If you're respectful to me, then I'll be respectful back.
exactly.
Crimson says he discriminates Tasha's race. But anyway, same as I say, I mean, whatever colour, creed, or anything, it makes no odds to me because we've all got his own personality. We've all got his own, his way of going. It wouldn't be a person to be like everyone else, to be clones. Let's just say everyone is individual in their own right. No matter what colour or race or sexuality they are, it all comes down to, we all come into the world same, we all go out the world same, and we all bleed red blood. Nick says there's an alien. You know what I mean? It makes no odds to me whether you're an alien or whether you're whatever you are. To me, you're a person, you're an individual, you've got your own personality. Each individual's got their own personality. You know what I mean? And it makes no odds to me. Everyone is welcome in my live streams. All I ask is be respectful to people in the chat, people on the panel. I won't tolerate drama, rudeness in any way, shape, or form.
And even though there has may been a few instances here and there that may seem like drama on my channel, that some people might think that it is when it's not. Because take for example the stream like I just mentioned where I cussed that person out. I wasn't trying to create anything. I was just in the midst of a moment. And sometimes there will be in the chat where people are creating things. Like about a couple weeks ago of this upcoming Monday, where I did a Manic Monday stream, but then I titled it Fire Nation Team United Season 2, Episode 4. There were a couple people in that chat that were having an argument amongst each other, and I didn't even realize that was going on until I checked the chat, and then I was reading it, not out loud, but just seeing how many people were in here, who was all in the chat. And when I saw that, I was like, God, what the heck happened? So I kind of had no idea what was going on because by the time I checked the chat, their argument was over. So I was a bit too late to end it before it ended itself. So there may be some things that people may misinterpret or the thin blue line, like thinking that's drama when it's not. It's just that there are things that may represent that.
I jelly dog. But yeah, I mean, Crimson's just said drama shouldn't be a taboo subject. It's bound to happen in life, especially with. But you see, it happens in life. It happens on YouTube. It happens a lot on YouTube. and certain people tend to thrive on drama. If you don't want that, then, you know, you just say, can you be respectful to each other? I don't want any drama. Please be respectful to me as a host, to people that have come to interact in the chat. You know, it's a case of respect. You know what I mean? And it's like me, I'm sat here hosting a live stream. Everyone in the chat is being respectful to each other, you know, and it's, you know, we like to come here, we like to have a relaxed chat, we like to have a interaction with the chat, you know, and this is what I'm saying about people taking certain remarks or whatever out of context. You know, I don't tolerate drama in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, Crimson, you know, it's said, I just detest sometimes if someone brings it up, some judge, and this is what I don't like, you know what I mean? I don't entertain drama, but I don't judge others that thrive on drama, if you know what I mean. That's their thing. It's not my thing. Yeah. Pixie's just said, respect me, I respect you. Take the P and I give it back. Simple. Which is, you know, it's right on the button, you know what I mean? Anyone I chat to on their live streams, I respect them very much. And you see, this is the thing as well, Darren. I'm the same. But, I mean, it's like, I'm going back to Facebook the other day. There was a young girl on Facebook, and it was one of the YouTube groups, and she was asking advice, and she was getting dislikes. And I says, you know, don't take any notice of it. A thumbs down. Everyone gets them, you know. And like me, like Pixie, like most of the people in here, it's a view. It's watch time. So, you know, don't take any notice of it. Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I sort of mentioned in this, like, comment section that I've seen evidence on a YouTube channel that you actually get paid more for dislikes than you do likes. And sort of he retorted and he says, blah, 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 it's all about ads and all this, that and other. The dislikes and likes ain't got nothing to do with the revenue, this, that and the other. So I gave him the name of the channel and he says, oh, this is, you know, just we're a drone channel. So he says, you know,
I'll be right back.
Okay, then. Well, anyway, same as I say, I mentioned the channel and he says, oh, this is just a drone channel, blah, blah, blah. So Chris says, well, I'll tell you what to do. It says, just copy and paste the specific video about the ratio of dislikes and likes and how you get paid more for dislike. So that's what I did. I copied and pasted it. Never said a word after that. Never said a word. And he was sort of like trying to be the, you know, detrimental to me because he probably thought I didn't know what I was talking about. But, you know, it sort of shut him up the minute I copied and pasted that link, and I sort of directed him to that specific video. And I went, there you go. That's the proof. Just watch that. It's all in the analytics, and this channel has actually got proof via analytics that you get paid more for dislikes than you do likes. And yes, Pixie, you do have to have broad shoulders, you know. And you do. You do have to have broad shoulders. You're going to get people that, you know, I mean, I'll be honest, people don't like me. I don't give a monkeys, whether they like me or they don't like me. You know, and I always say you can say what you like about me because I don't care. You know, it's got to that, but yeah, yeah. I agree with Pixie. Some people don't like the truth, and I agree with that. You know, this guy thought he were being, you know, the big I am, oh, she's just a woman, blah, blah, blah. But once I gave him the evidence and actually posted the link, he never said a word back. So, all right, we just carry on, Angel.
But yeah, as we were, was saying, basically at the end of the day, I need to like be careful of what I say and do on my channel.
But at the end of the day, Angel, when all's said and done, it's your channel, it's your live stream. Yeah, you do have to be careful if somebody under the age of 18 comes in, you know, and it's same as us. I had Tillich Star, but yeah, you know, you do have to be very careful. You can't control who's coming into your live streams. You can't control the age of the people that are coming into your live streams.
Cause the youngest person that I've ever had that came into a live stream of mine was at the age of only 12.
But at the end of the day, I mean, if that was to happen to me, I mean, my videos aren't age restricted. But I always say, well, look, you're only 12 years old, you know, just be respectful of that person that they're only 12 years old. You know, I don't want no swearing. Hiya, Steve, how are you? You know what I mean? Just people think about other people in the chat, be respectful of that person's age, even though it's an age restricted. But, you know, if you see somebody come in that is under the age of 18 and you've put it to age restricted, you want to make some sort of announcement that when people come into your live streams, this is an age restricted live stream. That it's like a disclaimer, you know, it's a disclaimer against yourself, you know, so you don't get that comeback, people calling you whatever. You know, please be aware this is an age restricted live stream. I do understand that you're only of a certain age, but please be aware that it is an age restricted live stream. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yep, I understand.
But I mean, that's the only thing you can do, Angel. You can only say,
As mentioned about this, or give some form of advisory, kind of like how there's that little disclaimer on TV shows. As some of this material may be inappropriate for certain viewers. Viewer
yeah,
discretion is advised.
yeah. Well, that's all you've got to do, Angel. If someone appears in your live stream and they sort of make you aware that they are under the age of 18, all you've got to say is, look, this is an age restricted live stream. There might be some swearing. This is just my disclaimer saying, you know, you've come here of your own fruition, let's just say, but there might be some swearing, there might be some discussion of, you know, same as you said, viewer discretion is advisable. And Angel's gone off again.
No, I'm still here. I turned off my camera.
Oh, right. I thought you'd gone again.
Well, the reason why I was gone for that minute is because I was trying to figure out how to disable updates, because a couple weeks ago when I had to when I saw that my Windows system was updating to the 1809 version, that update slowed my computer down and started creating problems. So I had to bring my new computer into Office Depot, where they had to reinstall Windows to the version that I had on before. And so now I was trying to figure out how to disable, because I was once again getting the 1809 update. but I had no way of like stopping the update because it was already in the midst of processing. So I went ahead and just did a complete recovery where hopefully it goes back to the version that I had before without being it updated. And then when it's done there, I'll just go ahead and disable the updates because I've seen a lot of reports of the 1809 version having so many problems of making the computer slow. Many certain features don't work all that well. And I just thought to myself, well, if it does that, then why in the world is Windows having you do this update? And some people saying, well, it's because they are trying to get you to buy a new computer and getting rid of your old one.
Yeah, so it's like an automatic update thing that you know it does it automatically without you being able to stop it.
Yeah, it was an automatic link, and I tried stopping it because it was in the midst right when I was talking to you about my channel and such. And then I saw that it said Windows update version 1809. So I tried to figure out how to stop it, how to prevent it. And since there's no little X that allows you to stop the update or cancel it, I had to do a complete recovery system. And when it's done doing that, I'll go ahead and disable it if it's still on the 1803 version.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Well, I don't understand really because I'm not technical myself, but I do understand about you not wanting the update and
Cause like I said, I've seen a lot of reports of the 1809 version having issues with their computer slowing down and with certain features not working all that well.
it's all right. I'm just reading a message from Steve, which is area views, and I have a stream chat on Facebook on the go, which involves everyone. I'm trying to round up for a big meet. If you want to be added, yeah, why not? I mean, if Pixie's added, then why not? You know. So yeah, aerial views and histories is Steve, which is Eagle VP's friend. He lives in Cleethorpes, close proximity to where Keith lives. Met one or two quite good people from Steve's chats. So yeah. So what did you think to the answer that I gave you yesterday when you asked me if I loved you as much as you love me?
I thought that was hilarious, but I know that the past couple months you guys have gotten to know me a bit more, but I've been following you since I believe May or June of this year, and there were so many times that I asked about coming on because I said because when you used to be friends with the people who I won't mention here, I wanted to come on and just have a bit of a good time with you as well. But I noticed that you were kind of a bit skeptical of who I was and what I was like. But I understand not everyone is willing to invite me on. They're just like wondering who I'm like or what kind of character. But I just give this advice to everyone who has the same thing as you do, Jeanette. Give the person a chance.
You're laughing at what Pixie.
I just saw that.
But it's like this, Angel. I mean, we've got what I call a community, you know, and it's like when new people come in, it's like Steve. I mean, I wouldn't mind Steve coming up on the panel one day. You know, over the past month or so, we've got to know Steve, we've got to know you a little bit better. And I don't like, I kind of put it, we are sort of hurting your feelings. I like to get to know a person before I invite them up onto my panel, if you know what I mean, if you understand that.
Yeah.
I Thomas, which is right, Rose Adventures. I mean, it's like Thomas. I mean, it's part of the, you know, the Facebook group. You know, we've watched a few of his vlogs, and I like to think that we've got to know him, if you know what I mean. And it's like Emma and Dennis, you know, Crimson we've known quite a while, and funny thing is, we were talking in Pixie's live stream last night about the New Year's thing that we're doing. We did it last year, and Bella said, funnily enough, Bella and Baz didn't know us this time last year. But me and Bella are like sisters. We've got that close that we're like sisters. We've got a lot in common. They've been to visit us, you know, and we have got really close to them. And she says, I can't believe I didn't know you and Chris this time last year.
Oh,
You know what I
wow.
mean? Yeah.
Basically, what you're saying, this time of last year, you and Bella weren't as acquainted as you are now, because
Oh,
the two of you.
no. Same as I said. Bella said exactly the same. She says, I can't believe we didn't know each other this time last year. And it's amazing. We're like sisters. It sounds like a Smule song to do, Jeanette Pickering. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, we talk on a daily basis. We haven't talked as much because she's down at her daughter's. The grandkids have had a running ragged, if you know what I mean. You know, we haven't talked as much, but we always sort of, throughout the day, at some point, how are you? How are you feeling today? That sort of thing. You know, it's a case of neither of us you know, are close in the space of such a short time that we've got really close. And I don't know whether people are aware of the fact that Bella isn't actually Bella. That isn't a name. That was just a name that a grandma used to refer to her as Bella Bella. So it's sort of stuck. But this is a fact, Angel, and everybody in the chat. Bella's name is actually same as mine. Bella's name is actually Jeanette.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. Not many people are aware of that fact, but Bella's name is actually Jeanette. Hi, Alex.
It kind of, yeah, I understand that, but it kind of seems as though Jeanette is a pretty common name down there in the UK.
Well, no, not really. It's not a common name, but same as I said, into coincidence, we've got close, and we actually found this when we met up in Birmingham. She says, well, my name ain't actually Bella. It's just a name that my grandma used to refer to me, because they have Italian descent, a grandma was, and she used to call her Bella Bella. So it's sort of...
I see that. I hear your notification bar going ding ding. I'm guessing that there's some form of.
It's Steve on Facebook's started like a group chat thing, and it's just dinging.
Because of many people like commenting and posting stuff there.
I don't know how to turn my notifications off. But yeah, you know, I mean, right. What is that link to, Nick? I don't know what the link's to. The Beverly Sisters.
Is that a song that Nick was referring to when he said that it sounds like a Smule song?
Yeah, Beverly Sisters.
While best friends are doing it.
But yeah, you know, I mean, it's hard to explain to anyone we have got really close. We are like sisters. You know, the coincidence is that we're both called Jeanette. We've got a lot in common, you know. And Alex has put, you learn something new every day. But yeah, you know, reckon you and Bella should do the smule. But yeah, you know, I mean, it's amazing the amount of things we've got in common, you know. And I mean, I sent her a personal link the other day. I saw this, I think it were on Facebook, and it says something like, true sisters, I'll be there to pick you up after I've stopped laughing. And that's basically, you know, the attitude that me and Bella have got. You know, and that's true of myself, that's true of Bella. You know, we're there to pick each other up after we've laughed at each other, you know what I mean? And that's the sort of relationship that me and Bella have got. We have a laugh, we can be serious, blah, blah, you know what I mean?
Yep. Pixie says ping, ping, ping.
He's on about the notifications. It's all right.
Okay.
They're on about having a big meet up in Steve, and everybody's on about coming to Sheffield. I think that date actually falls in the week. So yeah, you know, I mean, it's same as I, you know, we're amazed at. Steve says he's going to bring whiskey. Well, I'll not be drinking it. That is a fact. I mean, funny thing is, I've still got a bottle of taboo that's in the kitchen that we bought for Christmas, and it's still unopened. So,
well, for me, I'm not that much of an alcohol drinker, and I never will be, because I want to try to live as long as I can.
Well, this is it. Same as I say. I mean, since I had my weight loss surgery, I've not been able to drink. So I don't drink as a rule, but I did have a few on Christmas Eve. He says, not for long, that's mine. You said it tastes like pop. Oh, Marie's back. So, yeah. You know, this is the thing about Pixie Angel. It takes the Michael that I like taboo, which is like a mixture of vodka and fruit stuff. I don't know exactly what it entails. And he calls it, he says it's like pop. But I better not be saying that when he's drinking it, when he's got none left, and there's only that left. Oh, Nick's got some Jack Daniel's cider in the fridge. So yeah. I mean, we don't drink very often. It's only because it's Christmas, you know. Because Nick said he's got some Jack Daniel's cider in the fridge. Pixie says I'm going to Bristol. Bye. See you later.
Oh man.
You know, it's I mean, me and Chris, you know what we like. We have a laugh, you know, when we say things like that, you know. I mean, it was like this morning, it was supposed to be going out droning, and when I got up, it was still here. I went, "Oh, you're still here, are you?"
I was going to make a coffee, but I got no chance there.
Yeah, I do need a refill, actually. So, oh, Marie, are you going to Marie's as well? She says, Ruby got some eggnog.
Oh no.
Yes,
Don't go eggnog. Sorry, Marie. It's
Pixie's just a beer drinker and vodka and whiskey on occasion. He's got his headphones on. His what I bought him for Christmas, Angel.
What did you get him for Christmas?
Them headphones that he's got on, they're like wireless, Bluetooth.
Yeah, I've noticed that he's been wearing a new set of headphones on his streams recently. But some people have recommended that I get a pair of headphones. But the thing is, with headphones, it kind of covers up your ear, and I kind of think to myself, what is the purpose of a headphone? Some people say that it helps with sound and people to hear and sound better, but I've really never found the purpose.
Well, what it is, I mean, it got the headphones before. Now, it's like, let's say, it don't watch a lot of television. So if I'm trying to watch some programs on the television, he listens to YouTube and whatever, or Netflix or whatever on his laptop. And it's not interfering with me watching the television. Now, he did have a pair of headphones and only one side were working, and he says I could really do with a wireless set of headphones. Now these, the wireless, the Bluetooth, he can connect it to his phone, he can connect it to his laptop. Let's say, for instance, he goes in the kitchen, he's doing whatever, washing the pots or whatever. He can take his phone in there, listen to music or whatever, and it's not interrupting what I'm doing. But I saw them on Amazon, the Bluetooth Wi-Fi or whatever, but it's got a built-in microphone and everything. And for the price, they were reasonably priced as well. So he didn't think they were too bad. Plus, I got him these things for his drone. I mean, I'll refer to them as a bit of plastic, but posh name for them is parabolic range extenders or whatever. I don't know. It's a bit of plastic with some like reflective things inside, but that's what he asked for, so that's what I bought him. I had 2 cookbooks. I'm actually thinking of, because obviously it's Sunday tomorrow, we always have like a roast.
That much off the top of your coffee.
Obviously we have a Sunday roast. Now I'm just going to bend down and try and get this cookbook that I've been looking through it this morning. Sorry about the wobbliness. It's all right.
It's okay.
I put them on the floor, trying to get the book without making too much wobble.
So I'm guessing that the Sunday roast is going to be your next cooking video, right?
Well, no, not really, because we have a Sunday roast every Sunday. But I was looking through this morning, just out of curiosity, like just. But this is what I'm on about doing for dessert tomorrow. And that's it, look, and it's
that looks pretty decadent, or however you pronounce it.
Yeah,
because it's a banana, toffee, sponge, and carrot cake.
Custard. It says
custard.
Banana, toffee, sponge, and custard. So I might have a go at that tomorrow for a dessert after a Sunday lunch. I have been meaning to do. Tell Jeanette Marie gonna spike it and take advantage. Marie says, "Pixie in your dreams." It's all right. Steve's saying, I tend to find the range on the Maverick series is great without the extenders. They do increase range, but the signal goes into an hour or a band. Just depends on what you are into, I guess. Yeah, and Chris has just put, I got them for better signal service on my device. My husband has the same dream. But yeah, you know, I had 2 baking books for me for Christmas, and I was just flicking through it, and I thought, well, that looks rather nice. Banana, sponge, you know, and by the looks of it, it's like got like what I call it, like a caramel base. And then you put the banana on, and then you put the sponge on top. And I thought that would that looked quite nice for a dessert after Sunday lunch. You know what I mean? I am hoping, I've been saying for the past few days, I've got all the ingredients and whatnot. I'm doing the lemon drizzle revisited. And basically substituting the lemons for oranges. I've got the oranges. And also doing a second one, which is lemon drizzle, but using limes. So it could be like a lime drizzle and an orange drizzle. But I've been meaning to do it over the past few days, and obviously we're not feeling well. I've sort of said, no, I'll leave it till I'm feeling a little bit better. I don't want to sit there sort of feeling pants, feeling sick, and having to keep, you know, I don't want to sort of keep saying, well, you know, can we have a break? I don't feel well. I wanted to do it because I'm making 2. So I just wanted to feel better in myself before I did them. So you never know, they might be done later on. Now I'm feeling a little bit better. So yeah, but I suppose I could vlog it. It's another thing I could vlog and sort of hold it back and publish it at a later date. So it's a case of waiting and seeing, really. So Chris is in the kitchen making a coffee at the moment.
He's making a new pot.
No,
yeah, I have my camera turned off again is because I'm in the midst of making some morning coffee as well with some Reese's peanut butter cup coffee creamer.
Oh. No, the one that is making, like we call them, milky coffees. To make some with milk, but we do have like a coffee machine, and you know, we have the pods and everything. But with it being the Christmas holidays, he's not had a chance to go down and I did make a cake using the bunting, Marie. What were it called? Tunnel of Love. It's like a chocolatey base cake with like a chocolate glaze. I mean, if you look back, Marie, there is one on my channel. I think it's Tunnel of Fudge or Tunnel of something or other. Can't remember. I'll just have a look, Marie, and I'll tell you what it's called. But I mean, I have got the bunting, and I have got recipes. It's all right. I'm just looking for Marie. That's all. It is quite a while ago, so it's probably going back quite a while. So I'll just find it for you, Marie. I mean, we're up to 3 months now, and I think it's longer than that. So just bear with me while I look. I'm back. I hope everyone is well. Yeah, I'm just looking for a recipe that I did way back. I mean, we're up to 5 months now, so it's going back some while. No, 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 no. Gordon Bennett. I didn't realise that. I know. I'm just going back to see what it's called. We're going back.
You know, I kind of also feel about throwing my pony doll at Chris in addition to signing an executive Angel Trump order of commanding Chris to come down here to Minnesota so that I could spend some Angel and Chris time.
You can buy aerial upgrades for the P4. You need to strip the remote though, and Chris says he's not going to risk it. Right, playlist. Let me have a look.
And by the way, Jeanette, the way you say "ooh" kind of sounds like being like "ooh, fancy that."
Thomas has said, I'm not a fan of baking at work. I hate getting stuck on the sweet section. I can't find it, Marie. I'll have to find it in a little while. But I did. I'll have to message you, Marie, on thing. I can't find it. It was called Tunnel of Fudge or something. I can't remember.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Don't do it that long.
Yeah, because I bought the bunting and it were the one with a ring. You'll have to have a look for me and try and put Agent Chris on the way. But it's like the two baking books that Chris has bought me for Christmas. It's like I've got a Mary Berry one, and it's like simple ones. You know, it is quite, you know, like in the Mary Berry one, this key lime pie. I've already done that. It's simple things that basically anyone can make. Now he ordered me this one. And people in the UK know this programme, and it's called the Great British Bake Off. And it says, get baking for family and friends. Now, I think a lot in here, you've got to imagine they're on a baking show, so they've got to sort of outdo whatever the other person. So I think they tend to be a bit more complicated in this one, a bit more sophisticated, let's just say. Well, you see, the thing is, Marie, I bought the bunting, and it is actually, baby, it's in one of them cookbooks down there. I think it's the hummingbird one, I think.
What is it? Maltese chocolate cake?
No, it's the ton. If you pass me the cookbook, I'll find it. Hiya, real Joey B.
Hello, real Joey B. Which one is it?
It's the hummingbird one, not that one. Not the Women's Institute, the other one. That one, yeah. Yeah, Miss Random's in.
Random Lad Production.
So yeah, she says she's at work. Yeah, we had a quiet one, just the three of us. You see this that one. That one's a bundt cake recipe. But that's got to it's got buttermilk, and you actually use mayonnaise in it. Now I didn't like that. The thought of putting mayonnaise in a cake. Yeah, Tunnel of Fudge Cake, that's the one I made, Marie. If you want to look for it, that's the one that I made. And it's called the Tunnel of Fudge Cake, and that's with a bunting. But mine's just like it's not a fancy one like that. But yeah, it's like a chocolate, and it's got like a chocolate glaze on it. So that's actually the one I made, Marie. So if you want to search that on my channel, it's called the Tunnel of Fudge Cake, and that's the one I made. So oh, I've got it, you know. So yeah, that is the actual one that I made. There was the other one, but I didn't like the thought of putting mayonnaise in a cake. It just didn't seem right to me. Nick's put mayonnaise in it. You see, that was my reaction, Nick. When I looked at the recipe and it said you put mayonnaise in it, I thought, no. If I think about it, Marie, I'll try and find it and I'll send you the link via Messenger. It's quite simple to make. You know, it's just a chocolate glaze as well, so it'll be ideal for a dessert for New Year's Day. Oh yeah, it is possible. Alex,
okay, I'm back.
Are you back? Alex is hoping to get 600 by the end of the year. So anybody that's not supported Alex release the lens, you know, is a lovely young lad. Is a great photographer. You know, please feel free. Anybody that's in the chat, please support each other. This is what we're all about. Marie says she's had cake with mayo in it. It was so much. Well, you see, I think the idea of that is let me just have a look. See, I thought about making gingerbread, you know. I mean, there's quite some quite good ones. It says, yes, you read correctly. This cake contains mayonnaise. Many vintage American recipes substituted processed shortcuts for separate ingredients. In this extremely delicious chocolate cake, the oil or butter is replaced with mayonnaise. And before you panic, it works beautifully. American buntings, which make for a prettier cake, can be ordered online and will last for years. That's exactly what I did. So yeah, it's replacing the oil or butter with mayonnaise. But yeah, that's the exact thing. That's the recipe. That is another bunt recipe. You know, it's quite a simple recipe, except that you replacing the butter with mayonnaise. So there you go, Marie. I mean, if you want both the links, I'll try and do it on the laptop, and you know. Oh,
that's if you remember, without that constant notification dinging going on.
Thomas has just sent me a recipe for healthy scones. So yeah, I mean there is a recipe in the Mary Berry ones, and they Devonshire scones or something. There is quite a few nice looking recipes. So you know, I mean, it's you know, I mean, I'll just get this other book that he bought me for Christmas. By my request, I did ask him to. That's the other one. That's Mary Berry. You know, it says simple cakes, delicious step by step. You know, I mean, but I mean, in my mind, they are quite, you know, simple. I mean, like that one took me eye. That one's cappuccino cake. It's just like a chocolate sponge, but we like a cappuccino flavored cream and whatever. Sorry, I'm getting on, but one I do want to try and make chocolate and vanilla marble loaf. I mean, that's one I wouldn't mind attempting. What is my favourite item to cook? I mean, Pixie will sort of, his favourite is the lemon drizzle.
Drizzle.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons, and Miss Random Life that was in earlier on said, well, why don't you do the lemon drizzle? Because it's so popular, you know, everybody seems to like it. I'm going to have to turn volume down on this so it's so them notificate. It's not doing anything. Thomas says chocolate Oreo cake so bad but so good at the same time. I did actually do a cheesecake with an Oreo base. I forget what it were now. But you know, the aim of my baking things is to get people baking something that's nice and simple, you know, that, you know, Joe Blogs off the street can follow the recipe, can, you know, if it gets some baking, then, you know. Hiya, Kate, how are you? She says, I fell out with Facebook. Didn't even tell me you were live. Sorry. Well, you're here now. And anybody that didn't know, it was Kate's birthday yesterday. Never heard of lemon drizzle? Oh, you're missing out there. It were a baking recipe I did when I first started doing the baking vlogs, and it has been very, very let's just say a favorite of everyone's. I mean, Random Life says it you know, it's one of her favorites. Baz Burton says it's one of his favorites, you know, and I'm sure everybody will agree. And this is why I'm hoping to do the revisited one, but substitute the lemon. Oh, thank you, Kate. Bless you. Oh, you've got to stop doing this, Kate. You gave Pixie £5 yesterday. And she says, because you're worth it. Bless your heart. I hope I hope you're not expecting me to be there catching the baby. it's worth more than £5. Just click on my channel under baking videos. It is there. It's lemon drizzle. I am doing a revisited one. I'm sorry, you're my favourites. It's one of my very early ones, so it might be going back 8, 9 months, a year. I don't know exactly. You know, it's one of my early ones, and that's why someone suggested revisited with a twist. You know, I want to put silvered almonds in it and make almond drizzle for top. Oh, that sounds nice.
Innovative moment says, that's another $5 of what I'm owed, Pix.
It's all right. It's a running joke with Pixie, myself, and Kate, who was Inquisitive Moments. You say that, well, that's 50 quid you owe me, and blah blah blah, and that's what she means when it's another £5 off what I owe you. it's just a running joke that Pixie, myself, and Kate have got between us.
I understand that.
And no, Pixie, it isn't your fiver.
It's mine.
It's my channel. It's my donation, so it's mine.
Well, it might be your £5, but it's going to be my taboo.
No, it ain't your taboo. It's mine. It's all right. It's after me taboo, Kate, because I haven't opened mine yet, and he's nearly drunk all his vodka. So he keeps hinting that he's gonna drink
that much vodka I've got left from what Jeanette's drunk.
Yeah, right.
Jeanette's had all that. I've got a little bit left at bottom.
Yeah. See, I cause fights with my donations. But yeah, you know, we buy beer for Christmas. He has a bottle of vodka and I have a bottle of taboo. Now mine is in the kitchen, still unopened. Yeah. Nick says he's cruising. Yeah. I mean, I'll not necessarily wait till the, till the live stream's over. I've got witnesses then, haven't I?
Don't worry, I've got a secret webcam.
Yeah. You'll be on tonight. I did write the thing down. You know how we were talking on Messenger, Kate? I did write the thing down and he's took it up with him. So I don't know whether he's added your up. I mean, I don't understand it, to be quite honest. But I did write that thing down on a piece of paper and he's took it upstairs. So I will mention that you'll be on tonight. So he says, I've got to go check on me. Oh, that sounds delicious. Yeah, exactly, Nick. Cruising for a bruising. Oh, yeah. Pixie's saying you and Callum should go live with Red Dead. That would be funny.
Well, I thought that yesterday I was cruising for a bruising because right after I got done casting my check and going out to lunch at McDonald's, when I was waiting for the next bus, my chin was freezing up like heck, and I also saw that some of my soda that was on top of the rim of my cup lid froze into a slushy format because of the strong winds. And I thought to myself, am I going to be bruised by the cold weather that I'm going to have to blame on Chris?
Yeah. Well, in answer to your question, Angel, if you take me to McDonald's, I do love you, actually. Yeah, Kate's put, oh my God, that would be hilarious, galloping about and all. You see, all I know about this Red Dead Redemption or wherever it's called, it's a cowboy thing. That's all I know about it. I mean, I'm not a gaming person. I don't know what, I mean, I know this Call of Duty is like a war thing, shoot 'em up jobbo, but I'm not sort of, hi Ian. It's all right, Ian's coming. We're having a bit of a joke in somebody's live stream. How can I explain it? The lady was what we call dabbing. Now, I haven't got a clue what dabbing is. And then she ran about buckets and, bangers and what. And me and Ian hadn't got a clue what the heck she were talking about. So this is another running joke that I've got with Ian, and I says, I'm going over to Ian's and we're going to bang her all, because we didn't, I hadn't got a clue and neither had Ian what the heck they were talking about, dabbing and buckets and banging and whatever. I'll be honest, I hadn't got a clue. Everybody else sent to understand what this lady were talking about. Me and Ian hadn't got a clue. You know what I mean? It's us old ones, I mean, we're a bit long in the tooth. I mean, I'll be honest, we've never done drugs, never will do whatsoever. I don't, you know, it's each to his own. I don't condone people that do it or people that don't do it. You know what I mean? But me and Ian, we're having a little bit of a joke because neither of us understood what anybody were talking about. You know what I mean? And sort of, I says something about going over to Ian's and banging his bucket, and Ian said something like, never in a million years. And I says, why, you know, why, what's wrong with me, sort of thing. And he says, no, it's a line from Dumb and Dumber. And I thought, you know, we were sort of just toing and froing, like joking with each other. Only in a Bristol Rovers game, Nick, that's all I can say. It says referee's gone off injured. So I'm laughing at what is, but it says, and Jeanette said, you're not putting that in my bucket. We were just having a laugh because we didn't understand, you know, what dabbing were and this bucket and, you know, banging and whatever. Me and Ian sort of just sat there in the chat, you know. What it was one of them, because I hadn't got a clue what you're on about. Yeah, we see till it start. Me and Ian Matthews, there was a lady on there, and she was like showing everybody, you know, you eat it up, and then you put this thing in. This. We haven't got a clue. You know what I mean? Oh, he says it was a joke. The referee's gone off. But yeah, you know, I'm 56 years old, and I'm not sort of down with the 420 crowd or anything. I'm sort of, well, call me naive. Call me naive because I haven't got a clue, you know. Nick says the only dab I know comes with a lollipop. That's I'm saying, Nick. You know what I mean? But it was this, it were, I forget whose live stream it were now, but there was this lady on and she got the bong and she was saying, well, you eat this up and then you dab it and you put it in this, like, what they call a bucket. I don't know. And then something was said about banging or whatever. And sort of me and Ian were in the same sort of, you know, what the hell's she talking about? You know, I like to think that I'm wise to the world, but on this occasion, I'm quite naive when it comes to anything like that. Oh, okay, it's the drug one. It's a form of pot. Well, I mean, you've educated me and Ian now because we haven't got a clue. I mean, people were trying to explain it to us, but I mean, when you're long in tooth like me and Ian, you know, I ain't got a clue. I mean, the only thing I know about marijuana or cannabis or whatever, you roll it up in a cigarette and they call it a spliff. That's about the, you know, the extent of what I know about pot, cannabis, weed, or whatever you call it.
Because here in America, the politicians have been trying to make weed legal for the longest period of time, even though it's been getting legal state by state. But nowadays, there are many people that are taking weed and cannabis and turn into in its own business entity. Like there will be marijuana growers, there will be people selling it for a profit, and but nowadays more and more people are also getting what is called medical marijuana from the doctors.
Well, this is it. You see, here in the UK, for a long time now, it's been classed as a Class B drug, right? But there has been a thing saying in certain circumstances it can be prescribed by a doctor, but it's this like certain criteria to it. You know, and if you don't fall under that criteria, you're not allowed it. Hiya, Ruby. Hiya, Alexander. But yeah, I mean, everyone knows the health issues that I suffer. I'm on the strongest painkiller that the doctors can prescribe me. And I have seriously been considering this CBD oil. Now, I've been told, I mean, there are only certain shops in the UK that sell this CBD oil, but I've been told that the strength that I would need for my pain relief is not strong enough what they sell in the shops. So, you know, it's a case of, you know, I want the pain relief, but I don't want the high or anything that associates with weed. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's same as CBD oil, but they can't tell you what's in it because of the cannabis. But you see, it's like this. I get that much pain. The painkillers that the doctors give me aren't strong enough to stop the pain. So we've been told about this CBD oil, which is like basically you get the pain relief without getting the eye. You know, but also we've been told that the strength that they sell in our shops wouldn't be strong enough. So it'd be wasting your money, basically, in you know. So, you know, it's baby, just come and sort this out.
What?
It's bleeping.
Come on, Chris. Come to President Angel Trump and pat my pony. You know you love her. You know you love her.
But yeah, it's. But yeah, I mean, like this, there's like certain circumstances here in the UK.
Have I got to go pat his little pony?
You know, there's certain instances where it's been legalized for medical grounds, but you've got to meet a certain criteria, and there's only like a hospital, like consultant or physician can prescribe it, but only under exceptional circumstances. But yeah, I mean, we've been told that the strength that they sell in the shops in the UK wouldn't be of benefit to us because they're not strong enough.
Ah.
Yeah, Alexander says he totally understands, but if they can't tell me what's in the bottle of CBD oil, then to understand whether it's worth it or not, I won't buy it. Well, you see, this is the thing. I can't see the point in me throwing my money down the drain if it's not going to be of any benefit to me. Who said it's not enough to help you? Medical marijuana. Well, you see, it's only like a few months ago that they put this thing in place where only certain oh, bless you. Oh, bless you. Only certain medical doctors.
Oh, shit.
No, sneezing. We don't want you, we don't want you to follow through while you're sneezing. But the thing is, there are, like here in the UK, there's only certain illnesses like, this is what I've heard, very, very bad convulsions, like, you know, like epilepsy and things like that. You know what I mean? there's only certain medical conditions that they can prescribe it for, and it's only like in exceptional circumstances that they can prescribe it to you.
Oh man.
It's going out in all that snow, Angel. That's what's done it.
Well, that, or maybe it's the fact that Chris refuses to come to President Angel Trump and pat my pony in the back.
I mean, it's same as us, Angel. We've been poorly all over Christmas with colds and whatever. It's the weather.
Yeah, it's the weather is correct.
But yeah, I mean, it's sort of consideration I've made, but it's sort of not come to anything because I've been told that this CBD oil that they sell in the shop isn't strong enough, blah, blah, blah. They seen what Pixie's put. Till it starts, says they've only had a dust in the snow. Well, you see, Angels in Minnesota, and they've had quite a bit of snow.
Yeah, we got a total of 18.5 inches here in the area of Minnesota that I live in over the course of a day and a half of continuous blizzard snowstorms.
So I think that's why Angel's got a cold, because he's been out in the cold and in the snow. And
I mean, even though I don't have the serious conditions as normal colds do, I have noticed like a bit of a increase in my nose becoming runny, but I haven't had any form of serious head trauma that cold comes with, or any form of body functionality that a cold has an effect on you. So for the most part, I think I'm okay, but it's just the warning signs of it coming.
Well, this is it. I mean, if you've not got to go out for anything, Angel, I'd advise just to stay in the warm, drink play. You see, I think I felt so ill yesterday. I were a little bit dehydrated because Equinox will know what I'm talking about. I got the same problem as him the day before, and I don't think I'd drank enough fluids, and I felt absolutely crap yesterday. But I sort of had a sudden thirst, and I was drinking, water and, soft drinks and everything. And in the evening time, I felt a bit better. And same as Chris says, you were probably dehydrated from the day before. And, that's probably why you felt so crap. You know what I mean? And once I'd sort of rehydrated myself, let's say, I felt a bit better yesterday evening.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah. Okay then, till it starts. Thank you for coming in. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at what Ruby's just put. Thank you for coming in. Nick's he says, I think my condition was self-inflicted, too much bubble and squeak. But it's same as I say, I don't know, I'd got the same problem, not yesterday, the day before. And yesterday I felt WrestleMania. But yeah, and I think it was just like a case of I was very headachy yesterday. I just hadn't got the energy. I was lay on the sofa. I was nodding off, having naps all day long. And in the evening, I sort of, when I woke up, I was really thirsty. So I was drinking, I have flat flavoured still water. So I was drinking water, I was drinking soft drinks, I was drinking coffee. And sort of early evening time, I says, do you know what? I feel a lot better now than I did earlier on in the day. And Chris says it's probably because you were dehydrated and you needed that intake of fluids. Hi, JDS. So yeah.
I mean, the only thing that I have planned for today is going to a few places to look for a PS4 system that I want to get for myself for Christmas. But since it's after Christmas, it's going to be kind of like a belated Christmas because I got a check the other day on Thursday for $600. Not sure how much that would equate to in pounds down there in the UK. But I got a check for 600 American dollars that I expected back on the December 21st so that I could get the PS4 system in time for myself for Christmas. But due to the fact that the check came a bit late, I had to cash it. And it was also during the time when the weather was at its worst when I got it in the mail. So I had to cash it the very next day when the snow had finally ended and when the winds were gusting anywhere from 10 to 20 miles an hour with freezing temps below zero.
Yeah, Alexander says that's the first time on one of Angel's live streams that I've seen before Christmas him take a wobbly. Yeah, we were discussing that earlier on, Alexander. Yeah, we've had a quiet Christmas, just the three of us. Nice, relaxed, it were like nice to get up on, because like last year we went over to his sister's. We had to get up at a certain time, we had to get ready, we had to drive over to his sister's. Chris is one that when he's driving, he won't touch alcohol in any shape, way or form. That's just who Pixie is. If he's driving, he won't touch alcohol. So it was different this year. We got up at, whenever we wanted. We were relaxed opening his presents. There were no rush. There were no rush like Christmas dinner. It was nice and relaxed to know that we could stay at home. Chris could have a drink whenever he wanted. It was nice, just the three of us. I mean, that was last year, JDS. I mean, this year, we decided we were going to stay at home, just the three of us. Nice, relaxed, chilled out, etc. Yeah, that's the thing, Nick. I mean, same as Chris says, it's not worth losing your license over even just like taking a drink. I mean, like last year, we were driving, so he wouldn't even have a glass of wine with his Christmas dinner.
But I'm going to the shop. I'm not going to Asda. I'll go to the shop. I'll get some fags and backy. Then I'll come back milk. I'll go to Wall Street in the morning.
What Asda?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get some backy anyway.
Yeah. Okay. It's all right. It's the busiest time of the year, Jeanette, rushing. Well, you see, we tried not to do that this year. Because no, I mean, like running around like headless chickens. It was like Thursday before Christmas. I ordered all the shopping in, so I knew we'd got everything for Christmas lunch, etc. So it got like last minute things to do. I mean, like fresh fruit and vegetables. That was last minute stuff we had to do. So we tried to plan it all out in advance, So, we weren't doing anything last minute. You know what I mean?
Is Chris willing to come and sleep with President Angel Trump amongst his pile of sheets, or as some people like to call it, laundry?
Yeah. Sort of. Nick's talking about even after you get caught, it stays on your license for 10 years, so you end up paying for it the next years with. Well, this is it, and that's one of the reasons why Chris won't do it.
No drink drive for me.
And Marie's saying a lot of people suffer with depression at this time of year. I focus on the reason for the season. Yeah. We had turkey crown, actually. Less fuss, no bones. Hiya, Food Forest, how are you? and happy new. Oh, pardon me. Happy New Year to you too. Yeah, you know, well, I mean, we had a turkey crown. There were only the three of us, and the turkey crown that I got were, you know, I just picked it all off, put it in containers, froze it, etc. You know. Thank God you did. I nearly forgot a present for my mum and dad the week before. Well, you see, this is the thing. I mean, it puts people under so much pressure as regards buying presents. You know what? You know, and it shouldn't be like that. You know, I mean, I asked Chris what he wanted. He told me exactly what he wanted, so I bought it. He asked me what I wanted. And same as I've always said, it's not about us. It's more about Callum, you know, so long as he's enjoying it, so long as he's had a good time, you know, and that's the main thing.
Quick question: is the turkey crown a recipe, or is it some form of turkey dish that's prepackaged and put in the frozen section of your guys' supermarket down there in the UK?
A turkey crown is actually turkey, but you know the whole turkey, how it's got wings and breasts, and you know what I mean. A turkey crown basically is just the meat without the bones, if you know what. It's just like the fleshy part of the turkey, but without the bones, etc. So we find it easier just to have a turkey crown, slice off what we want for his Christmas lunch, and then the rest went in tubs to be frozen. And yeah, Equinox has said turkey crown is just breast meat. You know, it's you don't get the bones. It's easy to carve. Food Forest says, yes, Ruby, and in the new year we'll be doing mail out. Over 100 people want seeds and was a success. There you go. Yeah. Okay then. I think Alexander's referring to a memory that Chris shared. I think it were a few years back when he had got the Xbox One. And it was just a look on his face when he'd asked for the Xbox One, so we bought it him. And it is a memory that he shared on Facebook, you know, and he was so excited about it. Oh, Nick said he had a goose crown and a chicken. Yeah. The video that Alexander's referring to was actually like a memory that Chris shared on Facebook, but that were a few years ago. I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago. I'm not sure. Yeah, it were. I mean, and this is what I'm saying, Alexander. I mean, you know, I had a couple of cookery books. Chris bought me some slippers. I only asked for small things, and Chris did the same, because same as we've said, at the end of the day, it's not about us. You know, we wanted Callum to enjoy opening his presents. We know, you know, we're adults. We, you know, and this is why I sort of said, well, just buy me a couple of cookery books. Just, you know, he bought me, well, they're like slipper socks. They're not exactly slippers. You know,
the way you said cooking books, it kind of sounds like cookery.
Yeah. Well, they're not. They're actually baking books. You know, I just ask for simple things. I mean, I'm not into, anybody that knows me, I'm not into material things. You know, to me, Christmas is all about kids. You know, and just seeing the look on. I mean, Callum's not a kid anymore. He's 16, so he's got to that age where, you know, he just wants Xbox games. He just wants, you know, things Xbox related. We bought him a new football shirt. It's sort of getting more and more difficult to know what Callum wants, if you know what I mean. Marie says she always says surprised me. Oh, Food says Food Forest says we hunt goose here and tasty. Nick says his missus didn't have a clue. What did you get her then, Nick? And Ruby says she cooked goose and it didn't turn out good at all. And Nick says goose is lovely, not as dry as turkey. Oh, he bought her an eternity ring. Well, you see, the thing is, as well, I've seen a memory that Nick shared, and I didn't realise it was like a memory from last year, and it says, got engaged. And I went to Chris, I went, oh, Nick's got engaged, Nick's got an engaged. I went, hang on a minute. I says, he's already engaged. I says, it's a memory shared from last year. And I was I was getting all befuddled because I thought Nick's got engaged. And then I went, no, it's a memory from like last year. And, you know what I'm like. That's why I was surprised was a note. Oh, yeah, that's it. What's a Samsung Note? I think it's like a tablet type of thing, a bit bigger than a tablet. I'm not sure myself, but I think it's like a tablet, but a little bit bigger. Same as I say, I'm not very technological, but so you know what, it's but but the thing is, a Galaxy Note 9, yeah, it is like a tablet. Now, we got quite an unusual present, well, 2 presents from Chris's sister. Now, she does quilting, like patchwork quilting and everything. So one of the presents was, it were like, like a centerpiece that you have in the middle of the table when you, like bring stuff in and put it on the table. It's like a mat thing, and it on the label it says made with love by his sister's name. So then there were like 2, and they were both sort of to Chris and Jeanette. So he says, well, I'll open one and you open the other.
But back when I was a kid, through the 1990s and early 2000s, Christmas was all about a time doing gift exchange as well, where we could like exchange one gift for another person's gift. And one year when I was, I think, 8 or 9, someone wanted to exchange my handheld Game Boy Color system for a stupid ass DVD.
What did you say? No way, Jose.
Well, I kind of took the offer, but I didn't realize what I had done until I made the mistake. And that person had the policy of no re-exchanges or refunds after it's done. So I made the huge mistake. But I did that kind of stuff growing up in the 1990s and early 2000s, where I would get the exchange with people, including family members.
Well, you see, the thing is, same as I was saying, Chris opened one, and there were 2, and they were both to Chris and Jeanette. So Chris said, well, you open one and I'll open one. So he opened the one where it was the mat, the homemade quilting thing. So anyway, I comes to open mine, and I'm feeling, and I says, it feels like a backpack to me, some sort of a type of thing. So proceeded to open it, and it's like this big. In fact, I'll swing camera around and I'll show it you. Can you see it there?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
It's that white bag.
Well, it's like a lime green, actually. It's sun reflecting off it.
From this distance, it looks like it's white, but I'm guessing that's because the camera that you have isn't all that great in terms of resolution.
Well, anyway, it's a bright lime green bag. So I'm saying to Chris, well, you know, one, it's an unusual colour, and two, who in the right mind would buy us a backpack? So, so anyway, I says, there feels like there's something in it. Or there's like a main compartment, and then there's like a side, like front compartment. So I says, well, it feels like there's something in it here. So I proceeded to open it, and it's like a mini picnic thing. There's like 2 plastic champagne flutes and a salt and pepper pot either side, and 2 forks, 2 knives, 2 spoons, 2 plastic plates, like 2 napkins, and you know, etc. It's like basically a mini picnic thing. So I mean, obviously, you know about the weather here in the UK, and I says, well, yeah, I mean, it's sort of thing that you can only really use in the summer. And the fact that there's 3 of us and it's only like a picnic mini, I don't know whether she's trying to say, you know, go out on a romantic picnic or whatever, or it's like this camera's all wonky donkey now. I've adjusted
bad,
it.
Chris, bad, Chris, bad.
He's gone out, Angel. You missed him. He went about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, he says he's going to the shop. He's got his headphones, and I think he's listening on the way. But yeah, you know, I mean, talking of unusual Christmas presents, that sort of is on the list for unusual Christmas presents. But on another note, I mean, like from Chris's mum and dad, I had like a pamper set, and it were like all glittering gold, and it's like a glittery gold bubble bath, glittery gold soap set, body butter, lip gloss, oh dear. Nick says, one year my late partner and I bought my folks a light bulb and a 13-amp plug for Christmas. I gave it to them in the morning and then just left it all day. You should have seen the confusion on their faces. Well, I'd be confused if somebody bought me a light bulb and a 13-amp plug. But yeah, you know, I mean, as far as unusual Christmas presents goes, I mean, some as I say, I opened it and just thought it were a backpack. But then I says, it feels like there's something in this pocket. And opened it up, and it's like a mini picnic thing. So, but same as we've said, I mean, it'll come in handy. I mean, if me and Chris decide to go out in the summer months and decide to go out for a little jaunt in the car and decide to take a little picnic with us. So I'm sure, you know, we'll use it at some point. Oh, yeah. And another thing I'd ask Chris for as well, and probably think people are going to laugh at this. I asked Chris to this is, I bet Equinox, it confused a lot of them what to do with it. I'd asked Chris to get me a cheese grater. Now, we're not talking about, you know, a normal cheese grater. I mean, as you know, I do the baking vlogs and everything. And yep. I find it, with the trouble I'm having with my hands, I've got told the grater in one hand and grater whatever I'm doing with the other. Now, this thing that Chris has bought me is like a rotary barrel thing. You just put whatever you're gratering in the top and just turn a wheel, and it's a lot easier.
You know, what you just described kind of sounds like a as seen on TV product here in the U.S. that was released in 2010 or 2011 called the Slap Chop.
But you know, it's something simple. It's something that I'd asked him to buy me. I mean, it is when you come to unusual Christmas presents, but it's something that makes my baking and my life a lot easier, let's just say. We gave them their main present, which was a porcelain table lamp in the shape of hands. We got them the black hand set, which is ultra rare, as they normally come in white. So obviously when you gave them that, they understand the joke about just getting them a plug and a, you know, and a light bulb. So yeah, you know, I mean, as unusual presents go, but I'd specifically asked him for that, for the cheese grater thing, because it makes my life a lot easier with the arthritis and everything and the trouble I've got with my hand. It makes things a lot simpler for me. Hi, Karate Joe, how are you? Thank you for coming in. I hope you've had a good Christmas and looking forward to the new year. Pixie isn't here at the moment. He's just gone to the shop. So he did take his headphones with him, so hopefully he'll be watching it on his travels. I'm a bugger when it, well, you see, I get I do most of the wrapping, let's just say, but I'm a stickler. I put lots of sellotape on it, and Chris will always say, well, you can tell Jeanette's wrapped these presents because there's a ton of sellotape on them. But I'm one of these that don't like to take any chances. If you know what I mean. I don't take any chances. I make sure that they're sealed down tightly and nobody can peek. Just ask Donna. But yeah, I mean, I tend to, no disrespect to Pixie, but he's one of these that slapdash and that'll do sort of thing. But I'm sort of very meticulous about wrapping presents. You know what I mean? I'm sort of the meticulous one, you know, the label or the tag's got to be in right position, make sure that they're securely taped down and everything. But Pixie's sort of outlook is slapdash, you know, all the wrap, that'll do sort of thing. You know what I mean? It's but yeah, you know, you can ask anyone. You know, I'm the stickler. Everything's got to be done right. It's got to be done.
You know, correct. When Pixie, when Chris comes back, see if he can give me some of his Pixie hot dust to keep me warm while I'm outside today.
Well, I like that idea. I like that concept, Nick, because he says he bought Donna a gold chain pendant one year. 6 boxes later, she finally got to her present. Best game of pass the parcel ever. But you see, I like that concept. That to me, you know. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Alexander. I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't know whether it's because I'm a Virgo. I'm a stickler for, you know, making sure things is done right. I like everything to be perfect. You know what I mean? And Chris always says, oh, you can tell your mum's wrapped that because there's a ton of sellotape on it. You can always tell when he's wrapped things and I've wrapped things because he's sort of, you know, a bit of sellotape here and, oh, that's done, that'll do sort of thing. Oh, dear. But yeah, I mean, I like that concept, and I keep saying, like, I'm going to do, I mean, really, I could have done that with his parabolic, whatever it is, extenders. I could have done that because I've got plenty of boxes because, like, I got sort of different varying size boxes. I could have done that this year. Yeah, Virgo, same here. They are a perfection. Well, you see, that's it. You know, it's to me, if you're going to do something, you may as well do it right. But sort of Chris is a Scorpio, and he's, you know, well, that'll do, that'll suffice, sort of thing. But you know, everything's got to be just so, you know, wrapped in the correct way, and, you know, like tucking the bits in and making sure everything's symmetrical. And I'm a, you know, I'm a stickler for, let's say, perfection. Let's just say. It's all right. I didn't realise I'd drunk all my coffee. But you know, it's a case of if something's worth doing, it's worth doing right. Yeah, Nick says is not a Virgo, but is a perfectionist. You know what I mean? It's Chris's outlook is, it's wrapped up, you know, that'll do, sort of thing. But I'm one of these that, you know, like, we bought Callum 2 games for Christmas. It's got to be the right equal amount each side. You know, when you're wrapping the thing, you wrap it over, I stick it down, and then I'm there folding. Oh, he's back already. I'm there folding things so that, you know, they're correct. Yeah.
Well, you call it slapdash. Slapdash, done.
Well, you can't say I'm not wrong, because you do. When you wrap things, you just say, oh, that's all right, that'll do.
Well, yes, Angel, you can have some pixie hot dust.
But yeah, you know, it's a case of, you know, same as Nick's just said, don't do a job if you're not going to do it right.
I've done a slight boo-boo.
What? Uh-oh. Sorry. Yeah, but same as I say, Alex, I mean, it won't do for everybody to be the same, you know. I mean, you've got like the perfectionists such as Equinox, and, you know, you've got the other people like Chris that, you know, it's done, it's a job well done, you know. And Angel's gone ever so quiet.
Oh, Angel.
And yes, he did hear what you said, Angel.
Ah.
He'd been listening. I told you he'd be listening on the headphones on his way to the shop.
Yeah, I kind of figured that Chris was listening. But if you're listening right now, Chris, can you call me up to keep myself warm during this cold weather time? Because just admit it, Chris, I'm your long lost son, and you're my long lost dad.
Gordon Bennett.
What?
He says he wants you to keep him warm, and he's your long lost son.
He's long lost son. I'm older than him.
No, he's your long lost son, and you're his long lost dad. Right, pass me that backpack. I've just been on about the backpack thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still listening, but I'm just trying to be productive at the same time, because here in about 3 to 4 hours at around like 11 a.m., because right now it's 8:20 a.m., but at about 11 a.m. I'm going to be getting things ready for my day and going to a few places and getting my gaming console.
Yeah, Nick says, here's an example of what I'm like. I wallpapered our bedroom. Afterwards, I sealed the ceiling edges with silicone just to give it a perfect edge. Well, you see, this is the example of the thing that I'm talking about that Chris's sister made.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
It says made with love by his sister's name, October 2018. But she's got quite into the quilting thing. Okay then, Marie, I'm not be going on for much longer.
Hello,
So I'm going to tell you about this. This is the backpack. So I didn't want to get up and sort of leave it. So here's the surprise. I mean, that's it. Look, like a little mini. It's got like the salt and pepper pots, the 2 like champagne flutes, the 2 knives, the 2 forks and 2 spoons. In the bottom, it's got like the plastic plates, an actual chopping board, and like material napkins. And then right at the very top, it's got like a corkscrew. So yeah, a little unusual. We weren't expecting it, but I suppose it'll come in handy. So there you go. So yeah, I mean, she's just started the quilting thing. So I think she has made like actual quilts, but I think that was just like a beginner thing.
I mean, if that's like her first thing that she ever made, because you just mentioned that she started getting into quilting, she did a pretty good job.
Yeah, you know, I mean, same as we've said, it's been on his table. It's like a centerpiece for the table, you know.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it's a centerpiece that'd be for setting up dinner on your table at night. That'd be make for a great center bowl. In addition to the glasses that you put at the edge of each plate.
Yeah, I have seen other works, like as she's progressed onto the actual like quilts, you know, the bed throws and things like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can do. I'm not going to be going on for much longer anyway. So yeah, you know, I mean, it's somebody's meowing to come in, little missy.
Meow, meow,
It's
meow,
era outside.
meow.
Yeah, and Ruby says I think that it's good for a plate. But you see that's the thing. I mean, it's like got its multi-functions. You know, you can put it on your table if you're bringing the roast out, and you know, we actually carved the roast in the kitchen, so it's like if you're bringing like dishes of roast potatoes or vegetables or potatoes or whatever, it's good in that respect because you're not putting, because see, our table is like actually a glass table. Now it can damage the table if you're bringing hot dishes out onto the table. Okay, then see you later, Marie, and take care, and hope you have a good new year if I don't see you before. So yeah, you know, I mean, hopefully I'll be doing the lemon drizzle vlog later on. Chris has just got back from the shop, so yeah. Oh, bless you again.
It's been a little over an hour since I last sneezed, but I think you're right. If I do plan on going somewhere, I'll have to keep myself bundled up quite well and don't stay out too long or and such. But
listen, son, you need to get wrapped up when you go out, lad.
Well, I've just said don't go out unless it's necessary. But by the sounds of things, it's got a right chill. By the sounds of things,
yeah. But like I said, I'm most likely I'm just gonna go ahead and go to a store and get my PS4 system and see if there's a place nearby for me to get a quick bite to eat. But then afterwards, I'll most likely just go ahead and ride the bus back home to stay inside the most of the day to keep warm. And,
good thing, you know, good thinking, Angel. I mean, same as I say, I know that I've had a little bit of a cold and I've not wanted to go out anywhere. And Ruby says, Jeanette, looking forward to your drizzle, Kate. Oh, that's good then, Kate. That's good. She says she's home at the moment and is currently, the gas is... well, I got a message this morning that she'd gone home because she's been at a mother's over the Christmas period. So she went home and there was something wrong with the boiler. So they got no gas. So she meant she had to go back to her mum's. But she says that nobody could come out and fix it till the new year. But she says she got somebody off Facebook to come out and have a look at the boiler. I hope so too, Kate. I mean, don't take no BS, you know. I'd basically asked him for a quote before it even started, you know, how much is it going to cost me? You know, is that the price I'm going to pay, etc.
And you know, speaking of like communications, but recently I've been getting so many emails from my Gmail address to my Yahoo email address of companies wanting me to review their product for them. And even though there are some that I've accepted and they've sent me the payment, I just have never had this much companies trying to asked to review a product for them for my channel, but I think it's due to the fact that my channel has grown so big.
No, I'm just laughing at what Kate's put. She says, "Laugh my off. He can hear you, Mrs. P. He just says, is that your mummy?" I said, "Yeah, that's the mama bear." Well, tell him, Kate, he hasn't got to charge you too much, or I'll hunt him down like a dog. You're with child, like you've got to have eating, and it's Christmas, so yeah. He said, "I won't mess you about," then laughed. Well, just tell him if he does, I'll hunt him down like a dog, and it's not a threat, it's a promise. Yeah. Equinox says it's 2-0 up now.
But like I said, I would stay at home all throughout the day to keep warm and make myself get better. But look at all this. Wouldn't you want to go ahead and spend your money on the way that I have? And people tell me all the time to not flash my money around. It's kind of hard to do so when you have that much.
I was going to say exactly the same thing, Angel. That's one thing you should never do. Flash your cash on live streams. Oh, Ruby's going. See you later.
See you later, Ruby.
All right, see you later, Ruby.
See you later, Ruby.
We're all right in that respect because we haven't got any cash to flash.
Positive moment says, "Angel, buy me a Big Mac." She's with child, so she's got under exceptional circumstances. But
Ruby says, "Angel, be sure to feed your pony. I have work." Okay, I'll feed her some the pony fries at Burger King.
Yeah, another thing I'm going to go back to as well, Angel, is in your live stream they were talking about your guardianship. Now, no disrespect to anybody, but that's your business, not nobody else's, and they shouldn't be discussing that on your live streams.
Well, I just wanted to give people the discussion amongst what I've had to go through throughout 2018 in terms of it. But I know I should keep it to myself. But this has been something that I've been dealing with, something that I've been battling with, and it's also something that I've talked about on my channel numerous of times. Because back in, I believe, May of this year, I did a 3-part live stream series where I had it titled I hate having a guardian. And then in August of this year, I did another live stream titled I have had it with my guardian angel rants. And it was basically both the scenarios of how much I've hated having a guardian and how much struggle I've had to go through because I've been wanting to try to get my own independence for a long time. And I've tried proving it to them, but they never really give me much of a chance. But I should try to keep it to myself without giving too much disclosure.
Yeah. Ruby says, "Oh, Angel, people have been shot when they flash the cash. Be safe." You see, this is another thing why, you know, we're all looking out for you, let's just say. And Kate says, "Angel, you should share it private or on Hangouts to close friends. Then it means nobody can have an opinion." But yeah, you know, I mean, that's your private situation. Yeah, you have shared it on several occasions, but will it be to your detriment by discussing it? you know, publicly, let's just say.
Yeah, I mean, I understand because of that kind of thing. Some people may have a difference of opinion and thinking that that I should keep that I should keep on having a guardian and such. But for the most part, people on my channel are pretty much in agreement with me that I should have my own independence and freedom to do the stuff that I want with my life without being dictated. And last night, someone was telling me about how that I should not have people control me with my channel because, like I mentioned early on in the stream, there was this one dude that came into my stream accidentally, and he kind of, and when I went to the other stream where he was at, he basically was trying to dictate me saying that I shouldn't have a 17-year-old on there, and then a little bit later on when the one with the brown mask and the one girl with the picture of her in front of a river mentioned that, yeah, you shouldn't let people control what you do with your channel. It's your own channel. Do what you want with it, invite who you want. But I just was thinking to myself of how I can make it where it's suitable for everyone.
But you see, the thing is, and I'm in agreement, you shouldn't. I mean, it's like me. I don't let anybody dictate to me, you know, who I have on my panel, who I don't invite up, you know what I mean? It's my channel. I do what I want, you know what I mean? I wouldn't, and same as I said before, I mean, as regards discussing your guardianship,
yeah,
people could watch that and use it against you.
Yeah.
You know, like the discussion with the 17-year-old coming in and them calling you this and them calling you that. If people were to watch that, they'd think, well, no, you know, you've got to prove to them that you are independent enough to not have a guardian. Now, you know, not everybody is black and white. Let's say some people will use that to harm you.
And basically, they would try to use that towards me for their own advantage.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. You know, what we're saying is, don't sort of broadcast certain things to other people that could be used against you. I mean, I'm only sort of offering advice here, you know what I mean? Like there's certain things going on in our life. I don't broadcast it, or we don't broadcast it, because that's personal to us. And we don't want everyone and the mother knowing our business.
Well, just like how you broadcast to your to the people on your morning coffee crew, where you tell about like past stories that are hilarious, or stuff that reached that you had done with like people like with Chris or Bella here over the past few days. For me, I kind of like to tell what I have been doing with my life, and most of the time, or I should say, most of the past 6 months has been involved the whole guardianship case, because that's been my number one priority throughout 2018. And so I know that I should not be disclosing it or telling it in a public format, but I just wanted to tell people to give an update what's been happening amongst in my life. And that's just been the number one thing that's been in most discussions.
Yeah, I understand that, Angel, but looking at it from like, I mean,
basically looking at it from your point of view and from your aspect, people will use that against me and try to criticize me of saying that that I need to prove to them that I'm capable of my own independence. And I would say, well, don't you think this is independent enough? And they might be like, no.
But it's a case of, at the end of the day, you don't know who's watching. This is what I'm trying to say. You don't know who's watching. Now, I understand that you want people to know where you're at as regards your guardianship, right? I understand that, but such as the discussion with the 17-year-old, that could be used against you to your detriment as regards your guardianship. And it's like, you know, we're only looking out for you. There's certain things that I'd be careful what you discuss, if you get me meaning.
Basically, what you're saying is that me having this 17-year-old, someone could try to use that against me to try to prevent me from being my own guardian and try
Yeah.
to shut me down, basically, to where I have to keep a guardian.
Well, I'm not saying shutting you down, but you don't know who's watching. And if the wrong person is watching and you're trying to gain independent guardianship of yourself, people that don't want you to lose that guardianship could work against you.
Yeah, and that 17-year-old might be something that they would use, try against me that would prevent me from being my own guardian.
Yeah, I mean, even Nick says certain things shouldn't be discussed on an open live stream. And you see, this is what I'm trying to say to Angel. By all means, share with you. I mean, I've just gone through, what I got for Christmas and whatever. There's only certain, I won't disclose all my personal life because I do know that there are certain people watching that could use certain information against me. Hi, Kate.
Hello.
How are you?
Hey, Gabe.
Hello. What's happening, everybody? Is that
So,
too loud?
has he fixed it yet?
Yeah.
but
He only charged me a tenner.
Oh, that's good then.
I'll say in the end, I just need to watch what I disclose because people will try to use that against me and try to make themselves look better and make myself look bad.
Yeah, well, you see, Nick's just said there are spiteful people out there, and I tend to agree. It's like we're only trying to advise you here, Angel. We're only looking out for your best interests at heart, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people could see it's like Callum. Callum is special needs.
Yeah.
And we see him as being vulnerable, and people take advantage of that vulnerability. You know what I mean? People do see vulnerable people, and take advantage of it. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yep, I understand that.
It's like Callum. Callum is, special needs, but he has been taken advantage of in the past because of his vulnerability.
Yeah.
We know all too well, Angel, that.
Yeah, and during last night's stream, the one by the name of Hooded was saying that that I'm pretty easy influenceable, which I have to agree with him because there has been times that people try to tell me to do this or tell me to do that or go to their side, go to this side, and I listen to them. But with me being more independent, I'm now thinking towards what's the right thing for me to do. And in the end, it's all up to me. But I also need to watch what I put out there. Like I know that I discussed the guardianship case many times, but there will be probably that one lurker that will try to track the information and write it down and use it against me and use it in a form of detrimentary, as you said. So in the end, I just need to watch what I put out there and not have people try to influence me and dictate me and make my own choices in terms of what my channel is like. But if I want to put out the information, then it'll be at my own risk.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm laughing at what Ian's put. Ian Matthew says I'm vulnerable. Jeanette, take advantage of me. You've got a rival for me affections there, Angel.
But yeah, in the end, if I decide to put that kind of stuff out there, it would be at my own risk, and I have to accept what is come upon, because I think there's a saying where there's a risk and rewards or something like that, where if I took the risk of continuing on disclosing my guardianship case in a public format, and there was that one person that wrote everything down and tried to use it and against me and towards a detriment towards me, I would have to suffer the consequences of what comes afterwards.
But you shouldn't have to, Angel. I mean, Nick's just put certain people will see vulnerable people as easy targets, and I tend to agree.
Yeah, same here.
Nick's put, we're going to have to change your name to Merv, Ian Matthews, Merv the Perv. But yeah, you know, I mean, I tend to agree with what Nick says. They see a vulnerable person and think that they can take advantage of that person.
Yeah.
You know, it is. We know all too well. And when I say I know what we're talking about, Angel, we do know what we're talking about. And Kate's dropped off. You know, Callum has got special educational needs. He's 16 now. But the fact of the matter is, they do see him as an easy target because he's vulnerable. And it has been, you know, it has been known before that they've seen that vulnerability in Callum and took advantage of it. I mean, not so much in the past few years, but there have been instances where they've seen his vulnerability and took advantage of that vulnerability.
And I have to agree with what Nick said earlier about certain people will see vulnerable people as easy targets. Because yeah, some people have tried to target me because they consider me vulnerable. And believe it or not, in 2015, I was kind of, I wouldn't say a target, but I allowed a stranger into my previous apartment where he wanted to stay a couple nights, but a couple nights turned into a couple weeks, and then a couple weeks turned into an entire month. And then the one thing that I did not know is that he had an arrest warrant out for him in the estate that he went from down to my area here where I live. So I kind of was in the form of a taking advantage of and being targeted, even though he never asked for money. He ate like over 50% of all food groceries that I bought during that time that he stayed with me. And so I didn't have very much food for myself. And so he kind of...
Angel, I mean, just by you letting him stay and him taking advantage of your hospitality, that is preying on your vulnerability. Not only sort of, you could have been done for aiding and abetting a criminal. It could have had its consequences as regards you could get arrested for, you know, harboring a criminal that's evading arrest. Yeah, Equinox says we had a cat, a stray cat that used to hang around. We used to call him Ray the Stray. But yeah, I mean, this is a typical example of people taking advantage of your kind nature. You know, they asked if they could stay one night. You said okay, but then they proceeded to stay and stay and stay until they stayed his welcome, eating you out of arse and home. And I know a certain person will resonate that.
But that was back when my vulnerability was more easier to get to. But nowadays, I'm more aware of who my people are and my surroundings. But the one thing that I need to work on is what I put out there. Because nowadays, I really am precautious of who I let in and who I communicate with here in my apartment building. Because I have since moved into a different building. And I'm also making aware that if there's anyone that tries to ask for money for me on the street or in my building, I just simply tell them I don't have any money when in actuality I do, because I've seen a lot of times that when people give money to someone on the street or someone who knocks on your door, they use it to feed their habits like alcohol or cigarette smoking. And I just don't want to feed into that.
Well, you see, Nick's just said there's a name for it, and that type of abuse, it's called a Klingon, what I call a Klingon.
It's called a Klingon in your opinion?
No, I mean, that's sort of just a loosely termed, you know, it's people sort of, what I say, you didn't know that person came to stay with you, he outstayed his welcome, and it's what I call a Klingon. They've sort of took advantage of you, ate you out of arse and home, overstayed the welcome, not paid towards anything, and I call them Klingons.
Yeah, that's a great term there, Jeanette. But like I mentioned, I'm more aware of my surroundings and who I let into my apartment, because I only now let the people who I've gotten to know really well, or someone who I've been with for a very, very long time, that I would like to invite over and do a little bit of a communicative reunion with, because I've invited old classmates, I've invited old staff members to my apartment because I haven't seen them in a while. So I'm more of a precautious and aware of my surroundings, of who I bring in.
Me and Matthew says the best thing for Klingons is toilet paper. I mean, if you look at it from my point of view, Angel, now you can understand why I only invite certain people on the panel. If I don't know somebody, I'm not going to invite them on my panel.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from now, because early on you weren't very aware of who I was or what it was like. In addition to that, the times that I was on your chat stream and asked, I didn't see you in my channel very much either, because one way to get to know a person is by going to their own personal channel. Because if you came to my channel more and got to see what I do, you would have probably invited me on a little bit early on. But I understand that you only invite certain people once you get to know them on a more of a better basis. And since then, it's been kind of like a friendly relationship. And I remember when you got a bit agitated when I called you that blank Jeanette. Remember when I used to call you Grandma Jeanette?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a bit agitated where you like, don't call me Grandma Jeanette. And I don't do that anymore.
No, well, I mean, there again, Angel, that is like personal reasons.
Yeah, I understand that.
No, there's a story behind that. I don't share it with everyone.
Yeah, I understand that, because nowadays I just call you by Jeanette.
Yeah. Same as I say, that did get me agitated, because that is just purely for personal reasons. There is.
I understand that now. I mean, I didn't necessarily understood as to why, but I understand it now.
He says, can you be a granny at 36? I am a grandma. I've got 4 grandchildren, but there is a story behind that. I don't want to discuss it. There is only certain people that are close to me that know that story. But this is one thing that I not discuss, hence there is certain subjects that I won't discuss. And that is one of them. It's a very personal story. It's a very upsetting story. So I choose not to discuss it openly.
And I understand.
I don't discuss it for personal reasons. And this is one of the things where, there are only certain people that know about the situation.
I understand where you're coming from, because if it's something that has emotion towards you that you don't want to discuss, I understand that. And again, I just call you Jeanette nowadays because you got a bit agitated when I called you that name. But I just I understand that there are some stories for a person that they don't want to tell because it kind of is a bit emotional.
Told you she was in her 30s, Ian, but she won't have it. I wish. But yeah, I mean, same as I say, there's certain aspects of my life are not discussed openly. I mean, there is certain, certain things I won't discuss openly. It's only for
I understand.
Personal reasons,
I understand that.
So, well, it's 2:50. Pixie's made me some sandwiches and I ain't eaten them yet. So
Yeah, and it's 10 to 9 a.m. here in America, and I'll be going in and doing some things here in the next couple of hours, and I still need to get my morning shower done because I've been hanging with you most of my morning, and so I'll see you all again next time there, Jeanette.
all
Have
right,
a great.
Nick's saying that it's bugging me as I can't think of the name. I did the promotional photos for the website as well. So it was a little impromptu live stream. I were only going to go on for about an hour, but I've been sat here yakking away. And I want to thank everybody for coming in. Angel for coming on the panel. Kate says she can't rejoin. It's probably her internet playing up again. So I want to thank Kate very much. I do appreciate the £5. Yeah, the £5 donation. And I do appreciate everyone that comes in. We will be doing a New Year's Eve live stream. Now, we've got to make arrangements with other people because like last year, we sort of started on one, went to another, then went to another. So we've still got to arrange that. We haven't seen Eagle VP around. So we're hoping he sort of contacts us before Monday. R says I don't mind starting mine off at like 7 p.m. in the evening, you know, but Keith didn't want to do the late one. So thank you all for coming in, and I do appreciate you. And I shall see you hopefully Monday at some point. I don't know whether I'll be doing the coffee morning if I'm starting the New Year's Eve stream off. So it's a case of watching this space. So thank you to everyone. If I don't see you, have a happy New Year, and I hope 29 brings everything that you wish for. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.